Today I'll introduce 6 types of bento boxes that can be frozen whole as is. I share a lot of secrets for keeping the taste good even after serving, freezing shelf life, ingredients to avoid, and serving for best taste are shown at the end of the video. First one is 3-color bento, chicken teriyaki with egg and veggie. First, cut the veggie called Komatsuna, Japanese master spinach. Spinach or snap peas can be substituted. Fry lightly in a fry pan. Turn off the heat without frying too long. Season this with sesame oil, salt and pepper, and garlic powder. Avoid watery seasonings as much as possible since they will be frozen. Mix well and transfer to a bowl or plate to cool completely. Next, make fluffy and tasty fried eggs even when frozen. The key is to add mirin and mayonnaise. The alcohol in mirin keeps the eggs moist and soft. The vinegar and oil in mayonnaise also make the eggs fluffy and tasty after serving. The mayonnaise is hard to mix, so mix thoroughly. Fry them in a pan with oil. Use chopsticks or a spatula to break the egg into small pieces. The eggs are fluffy to look at. Since it will be frozen, it should be fully cooked and cooled. Next, the chicken is cooked. Cut chicken into desired size. Sprinkle with a little salt and pepper. Don't sprinkle too much salt and pepper because we will add a sauce later, and dust lightly with flour. Cook in the pan for a few minutes until lightly brown on one side. After turning over, add sake and steam. If there is no sake, use white wine instead or please omit it. After 2 to 3 minutes of steaming, make the sauce. Add mirin, soy sauce, and sugar. Simmer over low heat for a while until the sauce thickens. Turn the chicken over so that the entire chicken is coated with the sauce. After cooking the rice, place it in a bowl and let it cool completely. Since this is a 3-color bento, Sanshoku bento, the 3 colored side dishes are arranged neatly. By the way, I bought this bento box from 100 yen store that is freezable and microwave safe. Use any vegetable you like for the green part. As for the meat, I used chicken today, but you can use any meat you like. In Japan, it's also popular to use ground meat. If there is any sauce left in the pan, pour it plentifully over the chicken. It soaks into the rice and is very tasty. This is what it looks like after being in the freezer overnight. Shelf life and serving instructions are shown at the end of the video. Here's what it looks like after warming up. My husband said the meat was juicy and the eggs were fluffy and really tasty. Next one is Tonkatsu and Salmon Bento. Make a side dish with vegetable before cooking the tonkatsu and salmon. This time I will use carrot and gobo to make a sweet and salty stir fry called kimpira. Both will be shredded. This side dish was also very tasty after freezing and then serving. Add a little sesame oil and fry. Stir fry until oil covers the entire surface and the vegetables have wilted a little. Season it with mirin, soy sauce, sugar, dashi powder, and salt. I added a little more soy sauce and sugar later. Stir fry thoroughly until the moisture is almost gone. Add sesame seed to taste. Let it cool down thoroughly. Next, the salmon is cooked. Add a little sake. If you don't have sake, you don't need it, but this way it will be fluffy, moist, and very tasty even after serving. This is salmon that already has a little salt on it, so I don't add it, but if it doesn't have any, sprinkle a little salt on it. Cover and steam over low heat for 4 minutes. Today I want to make one fried dish, and I have prepared meat for tonkatsu. It can be made with chicken. Cut into small pieces because the bento box is small. Sprinkle with a little salt and pepper. Sprinkle a light dusting of flour. Sprinkle well on the sides of the pork too. Turn the salmon over and cook for another 3 to 4 minutes. Make tonkatsu butter. No eggs I used today. Mix equal amounts of water and flour. Dip in butter and coat well with panko. Fried foods are hard to make in the morning, but freezing them makes it much easier. When the salmon is done, turn off the heat and toss with butter. Then add just a little bit of soy sauce. This seasoning is my husband's favorite these days. Fry the tonkatsu in hot oil over medium heat for 3 minutes on each side. Cool this one thoroughly before freezing. Let the rice cool and top with as many ingredients as desired. You can freeze it after pouring tonkatsu sauce on it. When frozen, it looks like this. Here's what it looks like after warming up. Even after serving, the salmon was plump and the tonkatsu was juicy and delicious. Next one is Karaage and Tamagoyaki Bento. Karaage is Japanese-style fried chicken. To ensure juicy fried chicken even after freezing, marinate in brine solution before deep frying. Add salt and sugar to water and mix well. Then marinate the chicken in it. Place in the fridge for about 30 minutes. If you're short on time, skip this step. In the meantime, let's make Tamagoyaki, Japanese-style rolled omelette. You can use mirin and mayonnaise as in the first bento recipe, but this time I will use a slightly different combination. Put sugar, potato starch, water, and mayonnaise. Mix thoroughly. I mentioned earlier that the alcohol in mirin makes egg moist, but potato starch also has the same effect. You can also mix potato starch with water in advance. Cornstarch may be used instead. If you have a frying pan for omelette, please try making a Japanese-style omelette like this. We have received so many questions about this fry pan from everyone. Check out the link in the description section. This is the ginger used for karaage. I use a grater that I recently bought. I like it because it's a small dish, easy to use and easy to clean up. It tastes better with more ginger. Remove the chicken from the fridge and pat dry. Put grated ginger, sake, soy sauce, and just a little bit of sugar. Mix thoroughly to allow the flavor to soak into the whole chicken. Refrigerate for 20 minutes to allow the flavor to soak in. Next, let's make side dish with broccoli. Cut broccoli into small pieces. Fry them in a fry pan and remove the moisture. Oil may or may not be added. Since you will heat it up when you eat it, it should be slightly firm here. Not overcooked too much. Transfer to bowl and season. Add shio kombu, salted kombu, dried bonito flakes, and sugar. You can add soy sauce, but I didn't because I didn't want to make it as watery as possible. The saltiness of the salted kombu makes it tasty enough. This will be the batter for karaage. Mix flour and potato starch. A little more potato starch will make it crispy. Cut the chicken thoroughly with this flour. The skin should be stretched tightly to wrap around the meat in this way. This way, the meat fries plump and juicy. When frying in less oil, as shown here, fry for 3 to 4 minutes on each side. Now that the rolled omelette has cooled, cut it into small pieces. Pack these dishes in your bento box. All of these side dishes have little or no liquid, making them perfect for frozen lunches. Top with pickled plum, umeboshi. How do frozen rolled omelette taste? When I heat it up, it was fluffier than I expected and very tasty. Karaage was also great. Next one is Omu-rice Bento. First, chop the onion and carrot. You can also use onions alone. It's also delicious with additional bell peppers. Cut the sausage into small pieces as well. Chicken or bacon is fine. First, fry the onion and carrot in a little oil until softened. Add sausage and corn. The seasonings are ketchup, sugar, consomme, soy sauce, and sake. If there is no sake, please omit it. The most important point is to thoroughly drain off the water, otherwise the rice will become soggy, so stir fry over high heat to remove moisture. Turn off the heat and add butter. I highly recommend it because it really tastes better with butter in it. The rice should be placed in a bowl and allowed to cool slightly. Mix these well. Let cool thoroughly before placing in the bento box. Eggs are always necessary for omu-rice. Today I will give you the easy version. Put all the beaten eggs in an oil fry pan. I use only one egg. Fold in two and cook thoroughly. This is all that is required. I was in a hurry at the time and forgot to add mayonnaise, but please try it. There's a little oil left in the pan, so make a side dish here. As before, do not overcook the broccoli too much. The seasoning this time is salt and pepper, sugar, and hondashi. Broccoli can be very tasty after serving if cooked a little firmer like this and seasoned with less water. Now that the ketchup rice has cooled, it's packed in the bento box. The egg will look nice when cut like this. Pour ketchup over the top and it's done. I was a little surprised that the ketchup on the egg froze without falling apart. The ketchup rice was as good as freshly made. Next one is hamburger steak bento. Chop the onion for the hamburger steak as finely as possible. Mix just a little bit of oil and then warm in the microwave. Cooked for 2 minutes with a plastic wrap. Since this needs to cool down to some degree, I recommend that you do this step in advance. When the onions have cooled, mix all the ingredients except the meat first. Add beaten egg, panko, milk, and Worcestershire sauce. If these are mixed well before mixing with the meat, the texture of the hamburger steak after serving is fluffy and very tasty. Today it's ground beef and pork. Mix with meat in a large bowl. I forgot the salt. Knead until the mixture becomes sticky. It seems the salt breaks down the proteins in the meat and makes the ground meat sticky. Mold it to fit the size of your bento box. The hamburger on the right is what I want to put in the bento box. First, brown over medium heat. After turning over, add a little sake and steam. Cook over low heat for 3 minutes. Too bad the hamburger on the right was not shaped into a nice circle. Lightly remove the scum from the meat. And let's make sauce here. Put ketchup, tonkatsu sauce, sake, mirin, and butter. Mix well and toss the hamburger with the sauce. Finally, cover and simmer for 2 minutes. For side dishes, simply cook carrots and kabocha squash. Use any vegetable you like. When fried in sesame oil, the flavor is very good. Carrots are seasoned with salt and pepper only. Fry the kabocha for a while as it takes a little longer. Season it with mirin, soy sauce, and sugar. With this seasoning, if you cook it down lightly, it will lose its waterness and you will have a sweet and tasty kabocha side dish. I'm a little unsatisfied with the shape, but I adapted this one. I recommend that you pour plenty of hamburger sauce on top. Sprinkle sesame seeds over kabocha. I put cheese and parsley on top. This is called raw flavored furikake. My husband really liked the hamburger sauce. He said the meat and vegetable were both very tasty. The last one is Maki Sushi Bento. Since I'll be making sushi rice, reduce the amount of water by 2 tablespoons and cook the rice in a rice cooker. The rice needs to be cooked hard so the vinegar can be added later. Cooking time and method are normal. I'm gonna make 2 types of sushi rolls. First one is shrimp tempura. I always want to straighten the shrimp, but they always bend while frying, so this time I'm going to square them. Do you think I'll be satisfied with this approach, or will I regret it? Today tempura batter will be the easy version. Mix flour, potato starch, and water in this amount. Lightly flour the shrimp before dipping in tempura batter. Dip plenty of tempura batter. With skewers, I have to fry them in a large pan. And as usual, I want it to be stingy with the amount of oil, so as a result, I had to fry in oil that was too shallow. I managed to fry it, but it seems that everyone should fry in a small pan with a skewer as usual. Add a little tempura butter to taste. Fry it for 2 to 3 minutes on each side. When tempura is done, pour mentsuyu over the tempura while it's hot. Mentsuyu can be made by hand with these ingredients. Other seasonings are fine if you want. When the rice is cooked, prepare the vinegar. Mix rice vinegar with sugar and salt. Microwave for 40 seconds. Stir well to dissolve the sugar and salt. Then mix with the rice. Be careful, it's hot. Mix the rice thoroughly so that the vinegar is spread over the entire rice. While the rice is cooling, prepare the ingredients for the second sushi roll. Add mirin and mayonnaise to egg and mix well. Let's make delicious egg rolls even when frozen. Make a long, thin omelette for sushi rolls. Scrambled eggs are perfectly acceptable. Cook Komatsuna greens. Since the pan is small, I cut it in half. Making it with spinach is also recommended. This does not need any seasoning. Cool and remove moisture thoroughly. Cut the eggs in half. Now let's make sushi rolls. Please start making when the sushi rice has reached about human skin temperature. Spread the rice on the nori seaweed in this thin layer. Arrange 2 shrimps in a roll. When I removed the shrimp from the skewer, I noticed a hole in the middle of the shrimp. Maybe I won't use the skewer anymore. Use plastic wrap like this makes it easy to roll. You could use parchment paper instead, I think. For the second, add crab sticks, komatsuna, and legs, and roll them up. If you put in less rice, the sushi will not be too thick and can easily be placed in a small bento box. Adjust the amount of rice and ingredients according to your taste. It's easy to cut after a while. Sushi alone is fine, but I'm making side dishes. I have leftover komatsuna greens, so I will use this. I wanted to show this to you all. I have never seen such small red and yellow bell peppers before. It was made in my hometown. In Japan, these red and yellow bell peppers are often expensive, so I always buy green bell peppers, piman, but it was cute and I bought it. Simply seasoned with sesame oil, soy sauce, and sugar. Sesame seeds are added. Komatsuna greens are matched with this chikuwa. After wiping off the water, I season them with hondashi, salt and pepper, and sesame oil. I refrigerated the sushi rolls for a bit before cutting them. It was very easy to cut. That way, you can freeze them right away. Let the side dishes cool down too. By the way, foods unsuitable for freezing are those with high water content, such as lettuce, cucumbers, and tomatoes. Therefore, I didn't use cucumbers for sushi rolls. Finally, let's talk about how to carry and defrost your bento. Take the bento box out of the freezer and place it in a cooler bag along with the ice pack. If eating 4 to 5 hours later, microwave for 3 to 4 minutes at 500 watt. If warming immediately out of the freezer, warm for 5 to 6 minutes. However, since it depends on the size of the bento box and the amount of rice, please adjust the warming time according to your preference. The standard storage time in the freezer is 2 weeks. However, it's ideal to eat them within a few days as the smell of the freezer can be carried over to the food. Sushi rolls are delicious when eaten with soy sauce or mayonnaise. Please try making freezable bento boxes. Thank you so much for watching our video. Please subscribe to our channel. If you are already a subscriber and would like to support our channel, please join our membership. Membership feedback will be reflected in content creation. See you in the next video.